In this part 2 video, we're going to work on formatting this 3D pie chart. So go to your chart title and double click. And what we're going to do is select it all and we're just going to type right over it. We're going to call it Enterprise Fund Expenditures. And then click somewhere outside of the text box to make it your title. Now make sure you have it selected, but you're not inside of it. So you should see the 4 dots around the outside of your text box. And on your chart tools, go to Format. And over here you see the word art styles. Go ahead and hit this drop down arrow. You can pick whichever one of these you like. I kind of like this one. It's nice and fun. And then what you want to do whenever you're doing this kind of stuff is make sure that the title is appropriate to the pie chart. This is not an appropriate size for that pie chart. It's so small. So if you double click on your chart title, you see how you get this mini toolbar. Go ahead and change the font size. I'm going to try like 32. Okay, that was just the one. So I'm going to hit undo, make sure I got all this selected, and then try like 32. That's pretty good. I might be able to go to like a 36. 36 is good. But all these kind of sizes make it a little bit easier to see. And then you see it kind of looks a little bit more appropriate size to your chart. So pick a size that works for you. Make sure it's large. Mine ended up being size 44. Yours might be different based on the format you chose. So now we're going to format some of the data we actually see on our pie chart. So these options over here, click on the plus sign, which is chart elements. All right, so you see on here, we have legend selected. That's what these are down here. We do not want to see those. So go ahead and deselect legend and it goes away. But we do want some information on here. So go to data labels and over here you see this arrow. Go to more options. Okay, when yours opens, it should be on this one, which is fill in line. What we want to do is we want to go to the label options over here. So it says label options right there. So go to the label options here. And the only boxes we want selected are category name and percentage. So check those two and then make sure nothing else is selected here. And now you can see on our chart why we actually took those labels off. Now the labels are all on each section of the pie along with the percentage of what our total is made up of. And since our pie pieces are pretty big, go ahead and in this label position section, click center. You can close the format data labels dialog box over there on the right side. And then what I want you to look at here is how each one of our boxes, they're all selected at the same time. So if I were to select this one and then just double click, I can select one box at a time. But if you click just once, they all get selected at the same time. So what I want you to do is make sure they're all selected. Right click on any one of them. It does not matter which one because they're all selected. And then go to font. So in here, I want you to change the font color to something you think would be better readable on all these because that dark color is not really working for me. So I'm going to make mine like a light gray. And I'm going to increase the font size to 11. So here we go. I'm also going to change the font style to bold italic. And then click OK. So that makes it a little bit easier to read. So now what I want you to do is we're going to work on putting some 3D effects onto our pie chart. So double click somewhere in a pie. And it should say Format Data Series over here. If it says something different like Format Data Point, that just means you have one pie selected. So if you click out there, you format plot area, but we want Format Data Series. So basically click off the pie chart and then on the pie chart until you get to say Format Data Series. So under this, we want to look at the effects, and then we want to look at the 3D formatting. So go ahead and expand that arrow. So you see bevel here. Bevel is basically a shape effect that take edges and make them appear to be curved or angled. So we're going to apply a bevel here, and we're going to pick this first one that is circle. And then here it says 6 point. What we want to do is we want to change this to 512. change the next one, the width and the height, to 512. Now with the bottom bevel, also put on circle, and we're going to make this 512 also. So it makes it look more like a frisbee instead of a big old chunk of a cylinder. So now I want you to click on this button that says Material. We have Warm Matte. I want you to find the one that says Plastic. There it is. So plastic, you see how it made it look a little shiny right there? That's what it does. So now I want you to close that 3D format arrow. We want to go into Shadow. Right, you see this preset button here? We want to scroll down all the way down to Perspective, and we want to click the one that says Below. So now it kind of looks like our pie chart is just floating above everything else. You can even change the color if you like. I kind of like mine being gray so that it looks more like a shadow, but you can actually pick yours to be whatever color you like. Go ahead and close out of that Format Data Series pane and save your work if you haven't in a while. You're now ready to go on to the third video for 3A.